My name is Jordan Henshaw.
And my name is Kelly Raybon.
I'm the mechanic.
And I'm the journalist. Together we're Try and Prove It.
Someone has been charged with aggravated murder and is facing the death penalty, so we better figure it out, right?
How do we tell the difference between an assertion that is true and an assertion that is false?
You've got to start with all of the evidence, and you don't have all the evidence just yet.
Okay, well, I have no idea. Whoever, but it's a dot.
Where's the dot?
Right there.
Science is not absolute. It doesn't say this is what happened for sure. It says this is the best explanation we have.
3, start sequence. 1. If one picture is worth 1,000 words, one field demonstration is worth 100 internet conspiracy theories. I'm gonna ask something at the risk of, being wrong, okay? But we're all just friends here. We're all just talking.
And hello, everyone. Tonight we have a pretty exciting show for you. We are going to do a deep dive on kind of the history of this case, kind of where we started off, and what's happened during all of these months, almost a year now, and how we got to where we are today in the case. Focusing primarily kind of on the reverse engineering work that I've done. I'm going to be walking you through a bunch of videos, kind of taking you along the process of how I arrived at the hypothesis that we're at now, or that I'm at now with the CO2 pendant gun and all these crazy field tests that I've done. We're also going to go into some case updates that are more recent, some of the stuff that Kelly's been working on, as well as plenty of other stuff. And we also have an award show that we're going to update you on. And the key thing to remember about tonight is voting for our award show is closing at the end of this broadcast. Whatever you just did fixed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
and not anymore?
Whatever it is you just did. Not anymore. It was perfect for 2 seconds.
Okay. Sorry.
Whatever. There it is. There we go.
Okay.
Now it's perfect. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry for the delay, guys. That's partly why we were delayed for a little while. We were trying to figure out some technical issues on my side, some technical issues on the other side, but we got it sorted out now. We're going to have a great show. So once again, voting for our award show that we did nominations for last week is coming to a close, and now it's good again. It's coming to a close. So if you want to vote for your favorite creators like Kelly, then you have to vote now if you haven't voted already. And you have to subscribe.
And you guys, you don't have to actually leave the stream. We can put maybe, what do you think, Jordan? Like a link in the chat. Just like open up a separate browser and then you'll go to the page. Hopefully already you are subbed to Try and Prove It, most importantly, but you're going to want to make sure you sub. And then here's the link that you can go to vote. Now, this will, if you want to be very conscientious about your decisions, which we definitely hope that you will be, it may take you a few minutes, but we are excited to prep for this awards show. It'll be the perfect thing to bring the community together.
Yeah, and if you're not aware already, because not everyone watches our show every week, but everyone should watch our show every week. But in case you're not aware, in case you were in Antarctica last week, and that's why you missed it, we have an award show that we're doing probably next Thursday, where we have all these different awards categories for like most likely to be a Fed, best live stream, best YouTube thumbnail, best spaces moderator, stuff like that. People in the community, both on X and on YouTube, and our audience as well. A lot of other creators. Link is broken. It shouldn't be broken.
Yeah, let's definitely make sure that.
Okay. Make sure you copy paste it correctly. Maybe you missed one of the characters. I just tried it though, and I think it works. But I'll paste it in there once again though. Just make sure you have all the characters. It should end in a 6. So yeah, it's a pretty cool award show. If you click that link, you'll see what all the different nomination categories are. Last week we did the nominations so that you have someone to vote for. And this week we're closing voting so that we have a whole week to get ready for the actual, I guess, ceremony. Can we call it a ceremony?
Yeah, virtual ceremony.
Virtual ceremony. So that'll be next week, most likely. And who knows, maybe we'll have a lot of guest creators on in order to give some acceptance speeches, right? So that'll be really fun. And I actually don't have the video uploaded anymore. Give me 1 second. We have a new version of Kelly. I haven't shown you this yet.
I haven't even seen this.
Of the video, of the trailer video. So let me turn off the comments and let's see the new version of the trailer video. We released on X and I think on YouTube a trailer for the award show. Take a look.
Full of infighting, an emblem of peace. Kelly Rayvon and Jordan Henshaw present the Goldies. Nominating James May, most likely to be a federal agent. Stu Peters, nominated for Best YouTube Thumbnail. Miss C Social, Needle in a Haystack nomination. Trigger Smart, nominated for Best Tech Support. And Gary Melton, the Most Valuable Contribution nomination. Accidentally. And, most importantly, you, Corby Hall, Muppet Masher, Pia Varma, Trillion, Blake Bednarz, Real Bays, Brandy and Billy, Louisiana Girl, Jesse on Fire, John Bray, Get Crunked and Listen, Daily Freddo, Charlie's Angels, Baron Coleman, John from INSEE, and Wolves in Finance. But wait. You have to subscribe to vote, and vote you shall. Or else.
All right. That's a pretty fun video. We're probably going to have an even better version next week. And we might publish a better version to X as well. Because the difference between the one we already published and that one is I'm adding in some more custom entrances for the people in the second half. So that's pretty cool. So the award show, you should totally vote. And I'll post that link once more in the chat so you can go vote right now. Because voting closes, and I'm going to make a banner right here that's going to say voting closes very at end of show. And why should people vote while I type this?
Well, because I mean, we've all worked really, really, really hard, and this is an opportunity to bring the community together, recognize folks for all that they have done in one way or another, and just to have a little fun.
Yeah. And we were just talking to a bunch of people in a Spaces on X, and they were telling us about how it's bringing the community together and it's making people feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And that's what we need, because there's a lot of infighting, like it says in the trailer. And we are the peacekeepers. Kelly and I are the peacekeepers. So
we do what we can.
That's just more of us doing what we do for the community.
Absolutely. And also hopefully exposing, you know, folks to different accounts that maybe they haven't taken the time to experience before. So that was, yeah, one of the hopefully side benefits of doing this award show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you wanted to nominate someone to it and you didn't see it, if you were too late, that's okay. Who knows? Maybe if we're still working together a year from now, maybe we're going to do another one next year and you can nominate.
Right. Anything's possible.
Yeah. You got to subscribe to Try and Prove It, though, because if you don't hit that bell, if you don't hit that subscribe button, you won't know next time we have a nomination stream like we did last week. right?
That's right. And it was fun. I will tell you that we have heard from so many people who are like, that was one of the most fun streams I've ever listened to or seen. There were folks in the X spaces who they weren't even visually watching it. They were just listening to it and they were rolling laughing. So, yeah.
Yeah. We played a lot of funny videos. That was a great stream. And we're going to have another super great stream tonight because we're going to be watching a lot of other videos and we're going to kind of go back through kind of the entire case as best we can and kind of reminisce on, I guess, how we got to where we are now. So it's going to be another great stream and it's going to be another great stream next week. So this is the best channel to tune into. And also another announcement, tomorrow morning, we have another stream, right?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I better get ready to roll
Yeah.
in the morning.
Because
how could I forget?
we have a debate going on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. your time. Candace Owens versus Andrew Wilson. I quote unquote debated Andrew Wilson for all of like 2 minutes, like a couple weeks ago, I think. But he didn't know. This is what happened with Andrew Wilson. When I was able in a spaces, this happened in a Twitter spaces. It's kind of like a conference call on social media, right? I'm given a virtual mic to speak to Andrew Wilson. If you don't know who Andrew Wilson is, I don't even know how to explain who Andrew Wilson is. I know who he is. He's like a. He's
Did you
someone
know who he was before any of this stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't. Personally. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
kind of. But he's affiliated with TPUSA, right? I know he's affiliated.
Yeah,
with
he's been hired as a contractor or something to come in and teach them how to. I don't know if it was even to debate, but as a consultant to help them improve their.
He's one of the TPUSA goons, basically, who is going to come out and defend the federal narrative. What I remember about it is Barron said this in a spaces last night. And I'm assuming this is correct, but apparently the two debate statements he is to support in the debate is that there's overwhelming evidence against Tyler Robinson. He has to support that statement. And the other statement is, do you remember what the other statement was?
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be tough for him because initially, and in fact, if we have an opportunity to a little bit later, I may even suggest bringing this clip up. It was a clip from a different podcast about within the first day, I believe, of September 10th. And he was basically saying how hard it was going to be for police to actually apprehend a real the real suspect, and that they would be counting, the FBI would be counting on citizen journalists, and that this whole thing was going to depend on citizen journalists. In that case, I'm gonna have to play it for you guys because it aged very well, like a fine wine.
Who said that?
Yeah. Andrew.
Andrew said that.
Yes.
All right. We have to play that. I will filibuster in the meantime.
It's like, what a difference a paycheck makes.
Tomorrow, do you think Candace is going to be able to play video clips? Maybe someone should send this to her and she can play the video clip and be like, at the top of the show, we're done.
Yeah.
That's all we need to hear. All right. So I'm going to filibuster then. We have.
Thank you. Aged well, like Kelly. I appreciate it. And this is just one more reason why, I might qualify for your vote of most likely to remember or find a clip from 8+ months ago.
Why is this not working? I need to get rid of this. There we go. Yeah, so this is the survey, or not a survey. It's not a survey. It is voting form. But these are, oh, you have to, it won't show me all of them, but this is what the thing looks like that you have to use to vote. But anyways, so I will go ahead and filibuster while you find that video clip. So, what happened? Let me tell you guys this story. When 9/10 happened, when Charlie Kirk, I'm gonna mute your mic, or no, I think you're good now.
Just wants to hang out here, so it'll be fine.
Yeah,
Go
he
for it.
wants to. Yeah, he wanted to stream with me at some time, but maybe we can do it.
You know what? We just didn't know it was going to be tonight. Here we
I
are.
know it was gonna be tonight.
Oh, that's
All right.
such a nice compliment for Jordan or for Brocky. Brock, you look gorgeous. He's like, oh, tell me more. Thank you.
So 9/10/2025 last year, everyone has their own story on where they were, what they were doing when they found out. Thank you, Chuck Fizzle, for filling out the form. We really appreciate it. So my story was I was sitting here coding because, and this is important because this is kind of how I came out of my shell, I guess, in a weird way. But the months before 9/10, I was coding basically all day, every day. Not really, because I had to work sometimes, but outside of work, I was coding on a theater lighting design software project, basically all day, every day, day after day after day, weekends, weekdays. I was just coding by myself. I was a complete shut-in. Didn't talk to anyone ever, basically. And then one day, I'm coding all day long, just in the zone all day long. And then I eventually just fall asleep and go to bed. And then as I go to bed, I check my phone and I find out that Charlie Kirk is dead. This is like 10, 11 p.m. So I had no idea what was going on all day long, all afternoon, because I was just locked in coding. But
That's wild.
yeah, and then like that was pretty hard to go to sleep that night. I had to take some sleeping medication for that night, but it made me feel like it is a scary, dangerous country now. But you know, fake death theory says maybe that's not what happened. Maybe the country is not as dangerous as it may seem. And it looks
That's
like we have a video from Tommy Borum.
Yes. So I thank you so much for pulling that up. I figured it would be best for you to pull it up versus me attempting to.
Well, if we get later in the show and I start getting my ADHD stuff come up, maybe it would be a better idea for you to screen share and for you to have the TV remote like we had so many times on the court hearing streams. But here we go. And we have audio share now enabled. This is so tiny. Can we make it less tiny?
Can you
Nope,
zoom
can't.
into it?
I don't believe so. That's okay. I think the audio is the most important part.
Yeah.
Did you watch the FBI brief?
The one that was like an hour ago or something before you
Yeah,
went
it
on?
was real. It was.
Who is? Oh, this dude is on that whatever podcast a lot, right?
Maybe so. I didn't know who he was, but I saw Andrew and
Yeah, he's
I
the
was like,
whatever
oh.
podcast where he has like OnlyFans girls on all the time.
So bad.
Oh.
Yeah,
They have nothing. It's disgusting. And like, I feel
When was this? This was like the week of 9/10.
I think it was like the day after because he's saying, did you see that press conference? Like they have nothing. So it goes on to you're able to get a better sense of the timing once you hear Andrew.
Oh, it says September 12th. If only I had watched. All right. Here we
Okay.
go.
the one that was like an hour ago or something before you
yeah,
went
it
on?
was real. It was so bad.
Yeah, where
They have nothing. It's disgusting. And like, I feel terrible for the Kirks. They just want, they at least at this point just want the basic justice of apprehending the suspect. And this is terrible, man.
Do you think that there's a chance that they don't catch the guy?
No chance.
They're going to
Let
get
me tell
him?
you why. Let me tell you why I think that. There have been people who have murdered cats online, and internet sleuths will figure this shit out. If the FBI and law enforcement
That is a
doesn't
true
solve
story.
this,
I know that
You good
story.
people on the internet will solve this, and you'll put clues together, which will assist them in figuring out who this person is. In fact, I'm willing to make the prediction tonight that the FBI only solves this through the help of internet sleuths like you guys. They're not going to give justice to the Kirks. You guys have. The FBI has very little. Law enforcement at this event was a joke. I watched the first FBI brief. Brian, they said there were 6 cops there for a crowd of 3,000. And then they said, well, Kirk has his own private security team. Well, that security team is looking for problems from the crowd of people rushing the stage, things like that. They're not up there looking for snipers and this type of thing. That's not their function. That's police officers' function. This was a failure at basically every level. It was a failure at every level. Remember that all the earning capacity of this man was completely eliminated in seconds. And remember that it's not just the horrific torture of his family having to see that live. I heard a story and confirmed that it looks like this is true, that when the shot was fired, his youngest daughter was terrified. And guess where she ran? She ran right towards the arms of her dad. And she was caught. And what I heard on the ground was she said, why can't I get to daddy? Most horrific thing you can ever imagine.
She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is.
Am I wrong, or is that just unbearable for anybody else? It's so.
Listening to this guy talk?
My God, no, just the upspeak at the end of every single period. Continue, Mr. Enigmatic.
And just like a lot of those Antifa members,
This was a major mistake on behalf of.
Was that the important part?
I mean, no, I was just mentioning that like we'll come back to the mention of the daughter running, because actually I have something that I want to reference on that note, because I of course did some more deep diving into that. Yeah.
TPUSA. None of these people are Charlie Kirk. Again, they don't have the gravitas to ignore these high-level, prolific streamers and commentators who were on par with Kirk as far as social status went. They don't have that gravitas there anymore. Go ahead.
lastly, we didn't respond because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, and we were holding out hope that she would return that friendship and stop what she was doing.
This is no offense to TPUSA, though I'm sure many TPUSA supporters are going to be offended by this, but this guy is a really weak spokesman. Him speaking to this, it's very weak. Right? He doesn't have the, what's the right way to say it? He doesn't have the commanding presence in which to deliver this counter message in a way that people will really focus on every word that he's saying. He doesn't have kind of the, I don't know what you call it, the it factor. He doesn't have it. This guy is not a person who's going to command attention, who's going to drive people to listen to him. He's not particularly articulate, and this response is somewhat weak. Not weak because what's being said isn't true, weak because the person who's delivering it is not good at delivering it.
Okay, so this is before they caught anyone, and he's saying that, oh, the internet sleuths are going to catch the guy. But then the next day, or I think later that, or no, this was on the 12th? Didn't they do the press conference the morning of the 12th?
Yeah, so I wouldn't commit too much to the date of the 12th on this, but either way, it's obviously very, very, very soon. So either I would bet probably the 11th. I would bet within the first day.
But he's making the case that the internet people like us are going to find the guy. They're going to catch him. But once the FBI solves that problem basically on their own, then we can F off basically, right? Because they just want to find a bad guy. That's all they care about. It's about winning. It's not about accuracy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and also once Andrew gets hired, seemingly it seems that once he gets hired by TPUSA to be a consultant in some way, shape, or form, his opinion changes dramatically.
Oh yeah, when does that happen?
Well, I think within the last several months, because he had actually gone pretty hard on Erica and, like made fun of her, called her some names. Oh yeah. He was not like an Erica stan. I'm sure there's some folks in our chat who can weigh in on that. They may even know the exact time that things shifted. But yeah.
Fascinating. And then you had stuff on the daughter, because I had heard that story. Oh my God. The daughter, the family was there, everyone was there. How terrible. This is why we have the death penalty on the table, because his kids were there, is probably a thought that's gone through someone's mind. And it wasn't true at all, was it?
It was not. In fact, okay, so here's what's questionable. And I want to send you this. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone, you guys, but I had taken a screenshot actually of this yesterday because I was like, I'm going to do some extended coverage on this because I have not seen anyone fully report out this part. I was thinking that the Daily Mail, I believe, had, or a foreign, but across the pond, whatever publication had first talked about, and may have been the sole one that had reported that the Kirk family was there, that Erica and the kids or whatever were there.
Yeah, I remember tracking that down once.
Mm-hmm. So yesterday afternoon, I actually found that CNN had reported this, and I don't have the video yet to pull up for you guys, and I'm sure I can find it, but I do have their online reporting, and they've got quotes from a congressman, from a former Republican congressman, Representative Bob McEwen. And so let me send a couple of these to you, Jordan, and then we can, if it's helpful, or I can just read it out loud. Okay, I'll just read it out loud. So it says, the headline, this is 2:10 p.m. Central Time on September 11th. Charlie Kirk's family. So, okay, you guys, this is one entire day later that this is published. 24 hours later. Or 25, 20, yeah. Anyway, Charlie Kirk's family were at the campus event in Utah where he was shot. Former Representative Bob McEwen says. This is reported on CNN. Sorry, I know you can't see this, but I literally took all the screenshots of this article. Really? Charlie Kirk's wife and 2 children were in attendance at the Utah University event where he was shot and killed, former Republican Representative Bob McEwen revealed today on CNN. He said Vice President J.D. Vance is going to bring the family and Kirk's remains from Utah to Arizona, where the family lives. McEwen, who is on the, check this out, advisory council of Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA, and was a close family friend, said Kirk met his wife Erica when she was applying for a job with him. There's so much to unpack here, you guys. He said Vice President J.D. Vance is going to, oh wait, sorry, I just said that part. They met for over 2.5 hours. At the end of it, he said, well, let me just tell you, I'm not going to just hire you. I'd like to date you. McEwen recounted to CNN's Boris Sanchez and Breonna Keller. Indeed, they had an affection for one another. They shared everything in common. The family knew what it was like to constantly have a security team guarding him, McEwen said. McEwen's wife told Kirk just a few days before his death that he will likely need security for the rest of his life, to which Kirk rolled his eyes and said, yeah, I'm afraid so, McEwen said. Quote, And that was the part that Erica, I think, had hoped to avoid, but understood the sacrifice for the cause of the country. And that's what presidents have to do. And people who presidents rely upon have to do, McEwen said.
That's not it.
You guys. No, McEwen, like MCEWEN. MCEWEN. Yes. So sorry for all that reading, you guys, but I think there's so much to unpack there. And some of y'all might recall all of this, but the fact that there was someone who was not only, a former congressman, but also a member of TPUSA Advisory Council who was saying that the Kirks were there. Like, how do they get that wrong?
Who was the eyewitness who supposedly saw it?
Well, it's not about someone supposedly seeing it. It's Representative McEwen telling this to CNN.
Mm-hmm. But was he there? I don't think he was there. I've never seen.
I don't know. I don't know. We'd probably have to look at his interview. I just hadn't had a chance to pull up that interview yet. But I'm quite certain that it's, accessible somewhere. If it's not pulling up on CNN's website, like I could pull it up probably through the Internet Archive. But anyway, I was just like, whoa, this is actually a pretty big deal. So that was very interesting to me. And then also the fact, okay, I want you guys to read. I talk about read between the lines that when it comes down to reciting these stories that seem a little too good to be true, that seem a little too kitschy, it seems like they really have a knack for talking about and trying to convince us of these stories, whether it be how Erica and Charlie met, their first date, or whether it be the significance of the necklace, any of those things, it does not pass the smell test to me. Chat, what do you guys think?
Yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff there for sure. Yes. No, this one. Marcella Magnifique says, I came late. Did someone say Erica Kirk was there? Yes. Bob McEwen said that Erica Kirk and the kids were there. And this is being used to emotionally manipulate people into being even more sad for Charlie. And it's very sketchy, especially the connections Mr. McEwen has. But the reason we were on that and we're off on this very long cycle is because tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. EST, there is a debate happening between Candace Owens and one of the TPUSA goons. We'll just refer to him as a TPUSA goon. And that stream is, let me see if I can pull that up real fast to show you the thumbnail. Where is the thumbnail? Where's the thumbnail? It's a pretty cool thumbnail, actually. And we go into this, maybe. I don't see it, but I'm going to find it very soon. And we can see the Try and Prove It page. And it should be here, but it's not here. Here it is. This is the stream we have tomorrow morning where we are going to be reacting live to the debate as if we are in the boxing arena. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, well, we both better do some stretching between now and then because it looks like it could get a little crazy or not. Is it all just WWE theatrics? Audience, what do y'all think? I sincerely want to know. I don't want to be too tough on the whole situation. I guess, I mean, y'all, if you've been here for more than an episode or two, you probably know how I think. But y'all wind me back in if I need to be wound back in.
Okay. Do we want to go into the sort of the recap of the whole case now, or would you like to talk about Screwdriver?
Go for it. And
Video.
yep, please. You start and then we can discuss Screwdriver. I wanted to add captions to my video, so that's what I'm kind of finishing doing if you see me darting my eyes to the side.
Okay. I will go ahead and take the floor then to talk about how we kind of got from, okay, this super weird thing happened to Charlie to there must have been, like, how did we get to, like, what is this thing? Like, how did we get from he must have been shot in the neck with a 30-06 to all this hokey gear? Like, how did we get to that? So the first thing, I guess, how should I go through this? I did not do nearly as much preparation as I did for like the Alien show or for the Ancient Technology show. Like I planned
Jordan, we are all friends. We're all friends here. Okay. We're all friends here. So it's going to be just fine.
Yeah. It's going to be a casual, relaxed stream. It doesn't need to be point after point like a 5-point sermon, right?
That's right.
So we're going to go onto my X page where some of this stuff is, I think. So I started off focusing on the shirt behavior. The shirt behavior was really weird. It looked like that one movie, Law Abiding Citizen. I can't play the clip because it'll copyright strike us and we'll have to remove it from the stream and we'll lose the chat. So I can't play the clip. But there's this tunnel scene where this whole movie is basically this guy who gets put in jail because he killed someone. And then he like somehow kills the judge with some weird technological contraption. He kills the attorneys. He kills random people with car bombs, all while he's in jail. And he's trying to make a point about how you should not let someone walk who you know did something horrible because someone killed his wife and kids. But basically, the reason I bring this up is this dude in this movie had all these super complicated, super like tiny little technological contraptions that allowed him to kill people with a cell phone. There's a scene where the judge picks up her cell phone and her cell phone shoots her in the ear. And then maybe there's another scene in the movie where someone's wearing a Rode mic and somehow the Rode mic shoots him in the neck and kills him. And then maybe there's another scene in this movie where someone's wearing a necktie, and this is the scene in the tunnel, and the necktie kills the person. So if you want to talk about some of these crazy conspiracy theories, oh, it was the Rode mic, or maybe it was the handheld mic, or maybe it was something else in the shirt. That movie, that character in that film is the guy who would do that. So it's a really good exercise for, and I'll pull up the movie here. It's called Law Abiding Citizen. It should definitely be rated R. So if you are a young child, do not watch Law Abiding Citizen. This is a great film. You should watch this film if you are old enough. But anyway, that's like the mindset that I was kind of getting in when I was watching the shirt behavior. Maybe I should take off my suit. I always wear the Freedom shirt under this in case I need to. But like the shirt yanks, I can't do it right now because this is a dress shirt, but the shirt yanks up to his ear, and that's really weird. That's not supposed to happen. So I was thinking, okay, watching Trigger Smart, watching this channel, watching that channel, how do we explain the shirt behavior? It looks like the Gerard Butler character in Law Abiding Citizen designed an exploding microphone or a microphone gun or some type of energy device or some type of drone technology. He wasn't wearing a necktie, but if he was, maybe it was the necktie. Maybe it was his shirt itself. I don't know, but it looks like a scene out of Law Abiding Citizen is what it looks like. I wish I could show you one of these clips, but I don't think I can. Like the cell phone clips, the judge in the courthouse picks up her cell phone to her ear and it shoots her in the head dead. So that's what I was thinking about. And that's what got me into this mindset. Why? Because number one, there's no exit wound. And number two, it looks fake. The wound doesn't look natural. It doesn't spurt. It doesn't pulse. And it just looks fake. But anyways, so how do we get from that? So one of the first things I looked at was on my YouTube here. We have the spy plane theory, and then I made a video debunking that. That was my first video on this case, debunking it because, you have the Hades spy plane, which did a low pass over the lake shortly before the shooting, and then again shortly after the shooting. And that seemed really suspicious. People said that it was a drone deployment aircraft. So you would think that the reason it's going like 200 feet AGL above ground level is because it's deploying drones. But I made this video saying that's probably not the case because this isn't really important for the stream. But I made the case that you would deploy drones from altitude at like 40,000 feet, not at 200 feet AGL. So that was basically that video. And then
can you rewind us back through that part a little slower, because there has been a lot of drone talk lately, especially since John Cullen, I think, has come back into the scene. And yeah, people are, I guess what's old is new again, right? So
yeah, I guess I can play this video. It's 3 minutes long. I'll probably skip through it. This was my first video on this case. I had a lot of other videos that were on, this is supposed to be set to oldest, that were on the Chris Watts case, but we're not talking about that tonight. But that's a good thing to talk about as well. But anyways, here we go. All right, so I wanted to talk about the spy plane theory regarding the Charlie Kirk shooting. There's some people saying that there was a Bombardier Global 6500 doing a couple very low, very slow loops over the Utah Lake just west of the UVU campus 3 hours before and 20 minutes after the shooting. And they're saying that it was associated with the Hades drone deployment program of the U.S. Army, and that it deployed and retrieved drones that were ISR drones. I'm falling asleep listening to this. This is terrible. But anyways, I'm basically saying that you would not fly. Okay, why? Okay, the Hades aircraft is a drone deployment platform, not that specific aircraft, because that specific aircraft was still a trainer aircraft for like pilots who are trying to get a new type rating or something, right? But if I'm deploying a drone, the reason I would be doing that is for an enemy, because I'm trying to do combat with an enemy. So if I, the drone pilot or the aircraft pilot, am going to deploy these drones, do I want to fly down to 200 feet and deploy the drones right over the enemy and then get taken out by a bazooka, or get taken out by an RPG, or get taken out by an AK-47, or get taken out by a bow and arrow, or get taken out by a stone, or get taken out by a laser, or get taken out by a rock? Or do I stay at altitude at 40,000 feet and deploy it there? So you don't deploy those drones at 200 feet. That's not what any of those systems are for. So that's why I personally don't subscribe to the drone theory as it comes from the Hades aircraft, because that flight profile, basically what they did is they did basically a touch and go. It's a training exercise where you pretend like you're about to land, and then you do a go around maneuver. It's a training exercise. It's not remotely compatible with any drone deployment operation. You look like you want to say something.
Well, Mr. Turpin is saying 200 feet AGL is very real.
It is very real.
I don't know, but
yeah, 200 feet AGL is where you would do one of those missed approach procedures. That's like right at minimums.
A go around?
Yeah, so like 200 feet up in the air. That's how low they were. Like you can read the tail number at 200 feet. So it's just a training exercise. Like you could almost hit it with this. You couldn't actually hit it with a stone, but you could almost hit the airplane with a stone.
I still wonder about, and there was a little bit of talk about it on the space that I was in today. I didn't have a chance to, or I hadn't had a chance to talk to you about this, Jordan, but there was almost like a drone sort of surveillance, like a Google Maps aerial imaging service. It's called Near Maps, that had apparently taken imaging from the sky like during this 2-hour window. And at one point I had looked into the time they left off, or left, the time that they were scheduled to return, and they had like stayed up in the air longer, I believe, than they were scheduled to. Anyway, Barron was able to get these photos, and it just so happened, or these images just so happened to include some very interesting, potentially, information. And had tried talking to Near Maps, actually, like through with Blake, and they were charging like an exorbitant amount of money for a subscription. And I just wonder, I'm like, I should have asked Barron about that last night. How did he get those images? Because they were talking about like $25,000, $30,000 for a subscription to their service.
To do what exactly?
For imaging that just so happened to be above UVU on that day.
They won $20,000 to get a photo?
No, for their subscription, and they were there. And so like they must have been among some of those planes that were in that area. Sorry about that.
So I heard like the tail end of that Spaces. I was kind of in and out of anonymous mode because I was supposed to be focusing on work, and I kind of succeeded. But so is it a satellite, or is it a drone, or is it a plane?
Well, it's like an imaging service, but they had some sort of a plane, allegedly. He said, wait, hold on. He there you go. He said before that he's paid for the very expensive subscription. Y'all, I mean, we're talking like literally, I don't want to say too much without, Blake here, because Blake was the one who did the call, but like $30,000, $25,000, $30,000. And to get a photo. For their subscription, and they would not even give you like a temporary trial pass, anything like that. And what are the chances that this service just so happens to exist like right there in, I can't remember if it was Provo or whatever, that they were based there. Yeah, I did grow arms out of my shoulders. You're gonna have to forgive me.
And that imagery, do we know how detailed the imagery is?
Oh yeah, this was what he was like talking about, some of the stuff with the vehicle, with the alleged Tyler vehicle. I think that may have even been what he was citing when he was talking about potential work being done on like the ACs on the Sorensen Center. Was based off of imaging that day.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
So
but y'all feel free to chime in if you have. Yes, it's near Maps. That's what I'm talking about. And it is extremely expensive. Okay. And they like really don't, I mean, they get to pick their clients, is the way that they described it. And they had no interest in like coming down on pricing, doing a trial, like anything like that. Wait, hold on. Mr. Turpin, hold on. Did you give that to Barron? You use Near Maps?
See, I wonder, like, were they expecting that, I guess Blake wanted them to fly in order to make a new map, or were they of the understanding that he just wanted an existing
Historical
map.
data. I don't want to go too far into Blake's discussion with them because I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but
There's a sound effect from something. What that sound effect was. Okay, but anyways, moving on. Talk about that later. We need to move on to, we were talking about the drones, and then we're almost at an hour now. Okay, so to keep it rolling, we can go to here. Oh wait, you have your video pulled up now. Do you want to do that now?
I mean, if you'd like, or we can.
Why don't
I feel
I
like
go
that makes.
into, let me set up some anticipation here,
Yes. Okay.
and then we'll go into the video to try to play a Candace, right? Like, oh, cliffhanger. And then we go to your video, and then we go back to my stuff, and then we go back to your stuff. It's cliffhanger.
I
cliffhanger.
mean, there we go.
So when this video came out, it got 6.5 million views. What rate this guy, Range Day Bro, I think we can maybe play this to get his image up here. I guess not. But Range Day Bro, he's a YouTube content creator. He's a YouTube channel. And he says that Charlie Kirk was shot in the right ear from his right. And we know that because we can see the blood spatter coming out of his ear. Turns out the stuff he saw that he thought was blood spatter was actually the necklace. But at that time, no one really knew that the necklace had jumped up and like hit him in the throat. And then the whole thing like whipped out around this way. No one really knew that at that point, except for some people. But Range Day Bro comes out with this super viral video that says that Charlie Kirk was definitely 100% positive, certain he was shot in the right ear. So this is kind of like a game at this point when this is happening. It's like, ooh, who's going to come out with the next viral video that's going to change the entire case? When's the next one? Like, it seemed like every few days there was a new viral video that completely transformed the entire case. And this was one of those. But it was quickly debunked. And we quickly found out that it was just the necklace. But then, okay, well, why does the necklace jump up to here, the pendant, the cross pendant, shoot into his neck, and the entire necklace whips around his neck? So I came up with a bunch of different theories that could explain that, but none of them really worked. And I was also trying to come up with a contextual answer. What I do sometimes, if you look at my X, at the top of my X, I'm not going to scroll to it here, but if you look at the top of my X, it says I'm a playwright. My bio here is playwright first. I write plays. When I try to understand another person's thought process, why I disagree with someone, or if I'm trying to reconstruct a crime, or if I'm trying to reconstruct something in history, like I did with my 3-hour-long Jesus script, I like to write dialogue to try to get in the head of the other person, to try to understand them, to try to gain some kind of like lowercase intimacy with them, I guess. And I think that writing dialogue back and forth in a script is a really good way to really get in someone's head and understand why they think the way they do. It's a really good humanitarian exercise almost. So what I did was I wrote, I think like 4 or 5 different like scripts that are the premise. Okay, you found the guy who actually conducted this assassination, and he goes on Joe Rogan and he tells Joe Rogan everything. So he tells Joe Rogan this part of the story. Joe Rogan is like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. What about this detail? What about that detail? Right? So that's like, I wrote like 4 or 5 of these scripts. Each one of them is like maybe 20 pages long. So like 20 minutes of dialogue long. And what I did over and over again is I would get to a question that didn't make sense, that didn't have an answer. Joe would ask, well, why would you do it this way and not that way? And then if I couldn't come up with an answer, then I would realize that that's a dumb theory, and I would move on to the next one, to the next premise, to the next like supposed assassin with the whole other backstory on why this happened. And that got really interesting, but none of them really worked. I always got stuck on this question or on that question, or then I read it back to myself. I'm like, wait a second, none of this actually plays. None of this actually makes sense. But anyways, lowercase intimacy meaning like not like romantic. I mean, so anyways, that led me to the fake death theory eventually. So that's the cliffhanger. Do we want to play the video now? Oh, you're muted.
I was muted because Brock keeps talking. So yeah, I was muted, self-muted.
Shall we play the video?
Sure, let's play the video. And you guys, you are getting an exclusive first look. Please forgive me if anything is wrong with this thing, because I did not even have a chance to fully watch it through before dropping it in the upload folder for you guys tonight. So we'll know real quick if I need to make edits before officially posting tomorrow. Oh, do you want to pull it up, Jordan?
Oh, I thought you were going to. Okay.
Red and
Oh,
black
no.
Here we go.
screwdriver may be doing more work in this case than the public. One red and black screwdriver may be doing more work in this case than the public even realizes. But I think it's time to dismantle some of what we've been told. Was it found on the roof or near the rifle? What does DNA on it actually mean? What type of screwdriver did they even find? And what evidence connects that particular tool to that particular gun? Let's break it down.
Did you recognize the object?
I did.
And what was it?
It was a red and black screwdriver.
So that's former UVU officer Chris Bagley describing the screwdriver that he said he found on the Losi Center roof during the July preliminary hearing. But let's rewind back to September 11th. CNN reported, citing sources, that a screwdriver was recovered near the rifle and that investigators believed that it may have been used to disassemble and reassemble the gun.
Some of the scene there and what was recovered by investigators. And we have a couple of bits of more information about what they found. Now, they found the bolt-action rifle near that.
Hey, Kelly.
Yes.
Do you want there to be a possibility that someone clips this and posts it as their own if we play the entire thing?
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just keep us to the side. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep. Yeah. There we go.
Building, not far from that building, it appears investigators believe that the suspect ran away from the scene, threw the rifle down. It was there was a towel.
Do you want to turn the volume up?
And they also found a screwdriver, which they believe.
Volume is already up.
Oh shoot. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I can resave it all with higher volume.
Maybe. Well, that's just one. Or no, there's multiple people saying the volume is low. 2 people.
Okay, y'all want me to
Welcome,
resave
cool.
it real quick with higher volume? It's not a big deal. I can do that. I want y'all to be able to obviously hear and enjoy it. So.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, and I'll filibuster some more
Sorry, Becky.
because it is important.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you. Thanks for letting me know.
This down. Yeah, thank you, chat. That's what you're here for. Okay, here we go. Okay, so anyways. Well, how did we get from? Okay, so this is one of the theater plays that I did. Okay. There's no exit wound, right? Why would there be no exit wound? Okay, so you're designing an assassination plot. You have one sniper on the roof. What did they do with JFK? They had several different snipers take out JFK all at the same time. So if your mission objective is to kill Charlie Kirk, are you going to have one dude kill Charlie Kirk? Or are you going to have at least 2 people do it? You're probably going to have 2 people do it, right? But so if you're going to have 2 people do it, and one of them is the patsy, is probably an amateur, probably less experienced, then you want the other guy to be super experienced and super professional. So around this time, people were talking a lot about the van and how the van door opens up immediately before the van in the tunnel, right under the Hall of Flags. This van door opens up, the back rear door opens up like 10 seconds before the shot, and then immediately after the shot, it immediately goes down. It's like, boom, van door starts closing. So 10 seconds. Okay. The van door opens, 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, immediately closes. So a lot of people were saying that maybe, and I think this was Kelly Kugel's theory on Trigger Smart. Trigger Smart gets a lot of credit for a lot of the making the case move forward kind of in the early days with bringing up all these different theories. And he's still doing a lot of great work. And hopefully he gets, hopefully he wins some awards next week. But anyways, I give him a lot of credit and props for moving this stuff along. Kelly Kugel is a guy who is only known by email and by his emails to Trigger Smart and also to me occasionally. You have some audio coming through. I'm going to mute you, Kelly. So Trigger Smart had Kelly Kugel on, who had the theory that, again, he was shot kind of in the ear, I think. I don't remember exactly where Kelly Kugel thought he was shot. Somewhere in the back of the head from the van. So I think about this. Okay, well, why would you have someone in the back of the van shooting him and someone on the rooftop who we do have video of? Well, because you want both of them to shoot him at the same time, so you have redundancy, so that if one of them misses, Tyler Robinson misses because he's an amateur. If Tyler Robinson misses, then you have the backup shooter in the van who's probably using a subsonic 30, or what is it called? 300 blackout subsuppressed. 300 blackout is, I think, the type of round it is. And then subsonic means it's not breaking the sound barrier, so it doesn't have the supersonic crack. And then suppressed, meaning it has a suppressor on it so that you don't even hear the crack or the boom or the bang of the explosion in the chamber. So these rifles, these 300 blackout subsuppressed, the loudest thing you hear from them when they fire is the action of the rifle. So it's basically going to be dead silent if it's in a van shooting into Charlie Kirk in that crowd. So then you think about, why does he not have an exit wound? Can I cuss on this? I think I can cuss on this. I'm going to bring up the media assets and the language sound effect. But in one of these scripts towards the end, the idea was this recurring line that goes over and over and over again. The assassin character who comes on Joe Rogan and explains how everything worked. Joe Rogan asks, okay, why is there no exit wound? Why did Tyler Robinson not blow Charlie Kirk's entire neck off? Well, it's because the dumbass motherfucker missed. Tyler Robinson missed. He was aiming at Charlie, but he missed. That's why there's no exit wound. Because he's a terrible shot. And the reason we don't see a massive hole in the backdrop is because it self-heals when something that fast is moving through it. Or maybe the hole is so small that you can't see it. Dumbass motherfucker missed. So that was the theory in that script. So those were the kinds of things I was working on in those days. And I never did. I forget why exactly I put that one to bed, but it was a pretty good theory.
You forgot to hit the language.
Language.
Here we go. But that's a pretty good theory, isn't it? Oh, you muted yourself again.
Sorry. I've got a child behind me and there's not much I can do. And I'm just, y'all, I guess some 6'7". I'm just trying to do my best over here. And he just rolled his eyes at me. So yeah, here we go.
Okay. Does the video worketh? Is this the new video?
It is. It's almost there. It is at 70% exported. And thank
this
you
isn't the one.
so much.
I'll delete, or I can't delete it.
Yeah, you can drop that one out.
Okay. I can't. I think you have to. Somehow,
okay,
which is kind of strange because we're in the same account, but for some reason I can't.
Right.
But anyways, okay. So that's a pretty good theory, but that's the kind of stuff I was working on. And like sometimes Kelly and I talk about what would we be doing, or not what would we be doing, but like the productivity we had before we were like constantly on Spaces every day, streaming every week, talking to all these people, talking to Kelly on the phone for 2 hours a day, often many days. I was writing theater scripts to try to figure out all these different theories on what happened. And I was really good at that stuff. I should bring out some of those. I don't know where they are. I think I can find them, but there's some pretty good scripts in there. And they're really interesting, and they can kind of help you see the case from some completely different angles, from some new light. But anyways, none of them really worked. None of them completely made sense. None of them gave me that aha moment. And then, I'm watching Trigger Smart, pretty much everything he puts out, because I'm like addicted to this case, like basically everyone else. And this is the start of the reverse engineering that I did. And if I can find my video, not this boring video, but then go back to oldest here. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then Range Day Bro, he comes out with this video. What really made me mad, you know what really made me mad? We have the observables. We see the necklace jump up to his ear like this, and the necklace swing around like this. Range Day Bro, to his credit, he did a field test with a ballistics dummy with the rifle, and he put his rifle about where the van would have been, I think. Or no, I think he had his shooter up a lot higher. We have a video, Kelly, that we haven't really talked about yet, where it seems like something... No, okay. But anyways, Range Day Bro makes a video where he says that he reproduced the shirt behavior, where he reproduced the cavitation that made the necklace move the way it did. And my thing that you'll hear me talk about over and over and over and over and over again is the necklace behavior is upwards and backwards. The pendant starts down here, and the entire motion of the necklace is a linear motion starting down and moving directly up and back, upwards and backwards, upwards and backwards. But the video that Range Day Bro does, it's radially outwards. The neck expands radially outwards, and the neck expands radially outwards, and so does the necklace, and it breaks in the back. But the Charlie Kirk one, it breaks in the front and it goes upwards and back. But the Range Day Bro one is radially outwards and breaks in the back and flies forward. So I'm like, what the heck, man? But in his video, he's like, oh my God, I solved the case. I reproduced everything. Why? Because I got the chain to break. I got the necklace to break. Therefore, my theory is correct. But you don't actually look at the characterization of exactly what actually happened. Did the motion start down here and did it fly up? Or did it break in the back and fly outwards radially? So I got a little bit upset with Range Day Bro for that. Because he was greatly overstating the success that he had. And I've been known I've gotten into some beef for, anyways. But I did not like how confident he was that he solved that, because it was completely different. But anyways...
I mean, look, Jordan, I think you have gotten into a little beef here and there, but I don't know. They keep coming back around for seconds or thirds, so that's okay.
Okay. So then what happens? I don't fully... Okay. Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk, they have a story of how they met, and it's different every time, sometimes. Anyways, I don't remember the first stream I saw you in. I feel like I do, but sometimes I don't. But I'm pretty sure I remember which one it was. But I knew that I wanted to talk to you as soon as I saw you. But anyways, what I remember is here's this super professional, super experienced reporter lady who has a decade. Like I don't know if I looked you up, but I looked you up in some way, shape, or form, and you said that you think that Charlie was still alive. And I know Allgeist is, if he's watching, he's going to take great issue with this, like he did a little while ago. Ooh, but I had been exposed to fake death theory.
For a different day.
That's a story for a different day. But I had been exposed to fake death theory through him, and he focused primarily in the public domain on the acoustic evidence that he believes shows that the shot went into the back of the van. And he will say that he is also focused on the squib stuff and on the air puff tube stuff, but less so publicly because of censorship. But I saw his work as being primarily about the acoustic evidence, and I was certainly intrigued by the acoustic evidence, the crack thump analysis that puts the bullet in the back of the van, but it wasn't enough to convince me, to make me think this is a serious theory, because it was almost entirely just the audio analysis, and I didn't understand how on earth the squib would work in that environment, because the one in Hollywood is completely different. The restrictions you have in basically live theater, 360 degree in the round is completely different. So I didn't understand that at all. So I didn't take it very seriously. But then this Kelly Raybon lady on Trigger Smart, who, she believes in fake death theory. And she says it like, you know how Christians are sometimes kind of embarrassed by saying that they're Christians publicly? It was that thing where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I believe he's still alive. I know you don't believe that yourself, but I think he's still alive. In that sort of way. And I'm like, well, why would you believe that? That sounds like a completely crazy theory to me. Why would someone with this background believe that? So I was intrigued. And then somehow, I don't remember how, but I've been made aware of a 4-hour-long course on squib theory, or not on squib theory, but on how the Hollywood squibs worked. But on that cliffhanger, do we have the video?
We do. Fingers crossed it's a little louder for folks.
All right. I guess I will go ahead and play it like last time.
Red and black screwdriver may be doing more work in this case.
It missed the first part again.
One red and black screwdriver may be doing more work in this case than the public even realizes. But I think it's time to dismantle some of what we've been told. Was it found on the roof or near the rifle? What does DNA on it actually mean? What type of screwdriver did they even find? And what evidence connects that particular tool to that particular gun? Let's break it down.
Did you recognize the object?
I did.
And what was it?
It was a red and black screwdriver.
So that's former UVU officer Chris Bagley describing the screwdriver that he said he found on the Losi Center roof during the July preliminary hearing. But let's rewind back to September 11th. CNN reported, citing sources, that a screwdriver was recovered near the rifle and that investigators believed that it may have been used to disassemble and reassemble the gun.
Some of the scene there and what was recovered by investigators, and we have a couple of bits of more information about what they found. Now, they found the bolt-action rifle near that building, not far from that building. It appears, investigators believe, that the suspect ran away from the scene, threw the rifle down. It was there was a towel there, and they also found a screwdriver, which they believe indicates that perhaps the suspect used it to disassemble, take the stock off the rifle to try to conceal it. Right?
Now, near the rifle in the wooded area or on the rooftop, those are two very different locations. I've been there. And the official September 11th and September 12th press briefings described the rifle and towel, but did not publicly mention a screwdriver. Then, on September 15th, Kash Patel publicly placed the screwdriver on the roof.
And what we learned was there was evidence, DNA evidence, that could be collected and had been collected, including a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop. Also, we went over to the scene in the wooded area where the firearm was discarded. and the firearm had a towel wrapped around it. I even walked into the wooded area in the ravine, and I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody.
What's the significance of positively processed? You're muted. You're muted.
Funny you should ask, because those words might be on the screen in double time right now. Positively processed. What the heck does that even mean? I don't
And
think
remember-
that is a technical term. And Mr. Kash Patel is touting his experience.
Investigator
positively
extraordinaire.
processed. Yeah, is a very, very. You're right, Christian. That is a funny screen freeze on me. But yeah, it
You're Kelly,
doesn't have any significance.
you're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
You froze.
Oh no. They don't want
Yeah,
me to
you were
they don't want
breaking
me
up
to
a
be
little bit.
they didn't want me to share the truth. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah. But yeah, positively processed. Like, what does that actually mean? And also, if you remember back at the prelim hearing week when we streamed for like 40 hours in 1 week, remember, like, the DNA lady made it sound like it takes like 6 months to get DNA back, takes like, and if it's expedited, which it was, they're working 24/7 around the clock on Christmas Eve, on Christmas morning. Everyone's working together around the clock, and it still takes weeks or something in order to
It certainly
Kash
shouldn't.
Patel clip.
It certainly shouldn't. And I can tell you, unlike I bet anyone else in this case, okay? I bet unlike anyone else in this case, I've actually been to a DNA testing lab in Salt Lake City before. I have video that I can show from this. So we'll have to do that on another stream. But I literally have been to a DNA testing facility in Salt Lake City.
And what's the minimum? I know you're not an expert on DNA, but do you have any idea of what the minimum time it would be for them to get positively processed?
Look, it's all about how much a case is prioritized, right? And look, if JD Vance, if the vice president is coming down to Utah to fly someone, which is an unprecedented move, onto Air Force Two, all the way to Arizona, something that's never happened before, you better believe that DNA, in Quantico or wherever precisely they sent it, is being prioritized directly to the top.
Mm-hmm. But this Kash Patel said this like a couple of days afterwards, I think.
Positively processed. Positively processed. I mean, if I had to like read between the lines, that's just confirming that it's been sent. But
it's been sent, and we already know what the answer is going to be before we even get it back.
Well, yeah, because we have rigged the system. We're ensuring that it's going to be positively processed.
Mm-hmm. What would the correct term be? So if I were Kash Patel and I were
he's not saying that it's been matched.
Extraordinaire.
Yes. So he's not saying that it has
matched
the DNA
would be the right.
has been matched to Tyler Robinson. We took a cheek swab, what they call a buccal swab, not a buccal swab. It's called a buccal. Just for everyone who needs to know, a buccal swab, and that they have matched it. And it would have been so easy, like from his background and experience, assuming that he actually did the work in the past. it would be easy to say, hey, we took a buckle swab of Tyler Robinson and of Lance Twiggs. We have matched, he's not going to say Lance because Lance hadn't been charged with anything, of course, but he would have said, hey, it has been positively matched.
Mm-hmm.
Game over.
Yep.
Instead, positively
controlling the narrative.
processed. Like, that's so weird.
Okay, let's continue the video.
Positively processed. That's a strange phrase. It's not a courtroom conclusion, and it does not explain the DNA. DNA can show that genetic material was present, but DNA alone cannot tell us when it got there, how it got there, whether someone held the item directly, or whether it was transferred through a glove, a towel, a hand, or another surface. So DNA on a screwdriver is not the same thing as proof that someone used that screwdriver to assemble or disassemble a rifle.
You can't make this up. So, just looking around campus. And what do you know? The screwdriver, set of pliers. Interesting.
I am not saying this is the same screwdriver. I'm not accusing maintenance workers of anything. I'm saying that a red and black screwdriver is not automatically unique. And the public still deserves to know, what was the brand? What was the model? Were there any identifying marks? Was there a tool comparison linking it to the rifle? We haven't heard any of that.
Spoke with FBI Special Agent Folger and Utah SBI SA Dave Hull. Gave technically reviewed results that Robinson was included as a possible contributor to the DNA from the towel and the screwdriver.
And when people say Tyler's DNA was on the screwdriver, the more precise question is, what did the analyst actually conclude? The state's DNA evidence involved a mixture.
It's like getting laggy for me. Is it laggy for you?
Mm-mm. It is not laggy for me. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I'm not alone.
And reported contributors, not a video recording that we've seen thus far of anyone holding a tool. The hearing testimony does not turn DNA into a timeline, an intent, or a reconstruction of how the screwdriver was used.
So the gun went to the ATF lab, the towel went to the FBI lab, and the screwdriver went to the FBI.
Is this playing? Like, I cannot even hear it, and it's not moving.
It's playing. I mean, y'all, it's playing for me. Is it playing for everybody else?
Yes. Item 7, towel
Okay,
from
now it's-
around Mauser rifle, serial number 8863. Item 8, screwdriver from Perch. Male DNA was obtained from item 7 sub 1. Item 7 sub 1 was interpreted as originating from two individuals, one of whom is Twiggs. The DNA results from item 7 sub 1 are 1.7 octillion times more likely if Twiggs and T. Robinson are contributors than if Twiggs and an unknown, unrelated person are contributors. Male DNA was obtained from item 8 sub 1. Item 8 sub 1 was interpreted as originating from two individuals, one of whom is Twiggs. The DNA results from item 8 sub 1 are 30 quintillion times more likely if Twiggs and T. Robinson are contributors than if Twiggs and an unknown, unrelated person are contributors.
A screwdriver near an alleged shooting position is a lead, but it's not a conclusion, and context matters. The Losi Center did have an HVAC upgrade project publicly solicited before the shooting with a listed construction schedule beginning in April of 2026. Now, I verified that when I was there at UVU. I saw the signs, but that does not prove that anyone left this screwdriver behind on September 10th. But it does raise ordinary investigative questions about roof access, pre-bid inspections, maintenance activity, contractor access, and tool controls. Accidents happen. So, show us the original recovery photo. Oh, wait, that might be difficult because Officer Bagley's body camera turned off. Show us the exact location. Show us the chain of custody. Show us whether latent prints were recovered or not. Show us whether the tool was even forensically connected to the rifle. Can it even be used on that rifle? And show us why this screwdriver belongs in the prosecution's story and not just in a theory. Because when they say it mattered, my answer is simple. Try and prove it.
I caught the end, but did you just say try and prove it at the end?
I did. I said, yeah, gosh, I don't know why it's so fuzzy here, you guys. I'm sorry. My camera's doing something weird.
It
Anyway,
keeps going off
yeah.
and on because of your build problem.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it says it was kind of a cutesy line at the end, but it was like, yeah, my answer is simple. Try and prove it. Anyway.
So what I say about that is it's very valuable to show, hey, like even in this video, you're saying it's not like making a positive claim that the screwdriver on the roof was more likely to be or is evidence that it was a maintenance screwdriver, but it is illustrating that, hey, these objects are found ordinarily in this area. If you want to tell us that this was connected to a crime, that it's there because a crime was committed, it was brought there by Tyler Robinson, you need to establish that. If we were to find a rifle in a blanket in the woods, that's obviously related to a crime. But if you just find a screwdriver on a roof, the most likely assumption is it's just a screwdriver on a roof, and you find screwdrivers everywhere. So you can't just assume that it is part of the crime.
Yep. And I know that was kind of hard for folks to to consume, maybe because we had a few start stops and whatnot. But if you guys have any feedback on that, I haven't posted it yet. You were the first to get to see it. So please feel free to drop any of those suggestions for me. I still want to go and kind of like trim it up a little bit tomorrow morning before I put that out.
Okay.
Now you're blurry, Jordan. I don't know.
Now I'm blurry.
Now you're
What's
yeah.
blurry to me?
How okay, Snake Baby. How do we know Kelly didn't place the screwdrivers in the golf cart? Let me tell you this. I challenge, if you're the first person actually who I have seen raise that question at all, and I don't blame you for asking that. I would challenge anyone to request video from you. I'm halfway surprised I hadn't already received a call from the police there. But anyway, knock on wood. Oh, sorry. Now my dogs are barking. But anyway, oh gosh. I'm like, I can't mute myself fast enough. Anyway. Y'all know me. I recorded this entire video, like walking through the whole UVU campus. And then I had got a little overheated and had a little incident. And then I continued to record. And that's when I came, and I was literally talking about the chicken coop across the street when I was like, oh, but it would have been so much easier if he would have just jumped in one of these golf carts that's over here. Let's go see if there are keys in the golf cart, because, I mean, it's summertime at this point, it's summertime at a campus. Could there be a set of keys in there? I mean, I'm kind of just like, playing at this point, but I walk right up to it. And then I can't help but look as I'm looking to see if there are keys in there. I see the set. It's like a flathead, a Phillips, and a set of pliers with red and black handles. And they're in this like plastic little plastic bag. And you can see that it looks rusty. You can see that there's like tape that's stuck on top of it. Anyway, I know you believe me, but I just wanted to go ahead and lay it all out there for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's very typical. If you were to go into, my tools, okay, if you were to go to my storage unit, I'm sure you could dig around in some of my old junk tool bags and find that exact thing. Like, I'll just in my junk drawer tool bag in my storage unit, not in my actual stuff that I actually use every day, because that stuff's all clean and spectacular. But that's like, that style screwdriver is like a 90s style screwdriver almost, and it looks like it's from the 90s. So I don't think it came from Kelly's house.
Yeah. But also, we still don't even know, and I think it is no coincidence, my friends. Okay, it's no coincidence that we do not know what brand screwdriver it was that was discovered, what type of screwdriver was discovered. Okay, but like, Jordan, how do we know what kind of screwdriver that is, and if it even fits the gun, the rifle?
No idea. I mean, maybe it's a Phillips, but I think Trigger Smart just did a video. Actually, let me see if I can pull this up. Trigger Smart did a video where he actually had I don't know if it's the same kind of rifle though.
Okay, so while you're pulling that up, I will also add that conveniently they did not share. So I hesitated. I'll tell you guys, we're all friends here. I will tell y'all that I hesitated about even sharing this discovery because I thought, what if this, like, by some stretch, prompts them to change their course of action? Okay. On the off chance. And then I thought, well, they did share in court, even though they didn't share it publicly. So like the videographer with the pool camera was not able to record the screen when they showed the photo, alleged photo of this red and black screwdriver that was not allowed to be broadcast. So apparently it's been submitted into evidence, but it has not been shown publicly.
Okay, I have a video. This is from Trigger Smart from Matt. Thank you, Matt. This is a guy. This is not the same rifle, I don't think, but this is sort of the procedure for assembling it.
Because this is a pretty simple process. But Jacques, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, we literally, this is 2 screws and it's done. So, do
one screwdriver. And again, we don't know if he had a screwdriver, and Kelly Raybon brought up that the screwdriver might be from the maintenance crew, but just test it out.
Thanks, Trigger.
Usually typical rifles are 1 screw or 2 screws, and it's usually the same size. So you only need 1 tool.
That looked like a Phillips. Okay, so that looked like a Phillips. I want to say that looked like a Phillips, but there could be, so I see, or Hex. I have heard some folks saying that they're, for the scope to get mounted, that that was like the theory, I guess, is that the one part was on one side and then the scope was on the other side. I don't know, you guys. Look, if they want to talk about Occam's razor, let's talk about Occam's razor. What does not make sense? This.
There is just 2 screws back together. Guys, have the camera shaking, doing the best I can. Screws. On his left hand, we have what would supposedly, allegedly, be down his pant leg. And then we have separate.
So in that, the scope is mounted directly to the action, to the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
So on that rifle, at least, you don't have to mess with that at all. So somewhere in this video, they talk about this.
Is the stock. Putting it back together, would you lose a 0? And then we have separate is the stock. Now, Jacques, let me ask you this. In this situation, with you taking this apart and putting it back together, would you lose a 0?
You wouldn't lose 0 unless you potentially dropped it in the transport of it. Being that the optic is mounted to the action. That part is what maintains the accuracy. The stock itself doesn't change accuracy unless there's some sort.
But yeah, anyways, yeah, so that's a good video. Trigger Smart, check him out. Trigger Smart right here. And that video is called "Could Charlie Kirk Shooter Make the Shot in 5 Seconds? Real World Test." You should check out that video. I'll even link it in the chat. And you should subscribe to Trigger Smart. Okay.
Yep.
So
and also just for what it's worth, Trigger he's included in our video. He's nominated for a few categories, including Best Tech Support.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And he's in.
And
yeah,
also, and like debunking or something. I think
so. Yeah.
Yeah. We have awesome vid trig, but TR ain't no assassin. Well, Jordan and I would agree with you.
The Trigger Smart is not an assassin.
No, Tyler is not an assassin.
Oh, Tyler Robinson, yeah. Trigger Smart is TS. Yeah, he doesn't seem like. Oh, we have 27 new votes. Perfect.
Love it.
Awesome.
Well, okay, let's do a little plug for everybody right now.
A plug for who?
For everybody to go and vote.
Plug for the award show, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me copy this again.
You are thank you so much.
You're welcome. I don't
AI says a special tool. Yeah, no, I was talking to you. Sorry. I'm trying to like look at Brock and look at you and manage the chat and
okay, I just pasted the link to the chat to the award show. So if you're just joining us, we have a super cool award show that is for all the creators. In this case, it is called not the Grifties, but the Goldies and or the Golden Receipts. But I think we're going with the Goldies because that's Kelly's idea. But anyways, Trigger Smart has been nominated for Best Tech Support. What are some other good nominations? Let's see here.
There was one about debunking or emergency live stream.
Best emergency live stream.
Yep.
The Source Whisperer, best at locating and evaluating primary sources, best fact check, best public records deep dive, best investigative collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
I can't share the results yet, but best moderation under pressure, most likely to be chaos agent. That was one of the most nominated categories. The Eclectic Journalist, I don't believe you were on there. I don't remember typing that out, so I don't think so. But if you wanted to be, you can't nominate yourself, but you would have gone to, you have a small hand.
Me?
Oh, no, that's your hand. I thought that was Brock. I was like, what on earth? Okay.
Nope.
Oh, how exciting am I on? Yeah. The nomination stream was because the comment was in the way. I was like, what on earth? But anyways, the nomination stream was last week. And this week we are closing voting. So you need to vote now or your vote will not be counted because it's going to close at the end of the stream. So there is a hard deadline. You cannot vote if the stream is over. So you have to vote now or you will miss out.
We won't say forever hold your peace. It's not forever hold your peace. It's just maybe like for a little while until we can perhaps generate an opportunity for another. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it becomes quarterly. Or we don't know how long this is going to go on, but.
We have another one for best accent, most likely to turn one screenshot into a 6-hour spaces, best red circle and arrow thumbnail, most unexpected background noise. We do have a clear winner in that category. I know we had someone on X, actually 2 people on X today who wanted to win that category. Unfortunately, it does not look so good for them right now. But if a bunch more people vote, maybe things will change. We also have the most iconic catchphrase, the best community meme, best running joke, and best YouTube viewer. We actually do have a category for the most what is the one? The most loyal Try and Prove It subscriber or something. We also have
Yes. Yeah, it's something along those lines.
And then we also have the community MVP. Yeah, right here, the most faithful Try and Prove It subscriber. This one's close. Only 58 out of, or I don't want to share that.
I haven't looked at any of the, sorry guys. I haven't looked at any of the results because I didn't want to accidentally spill the beans.
Best newcomer, unsung hero, the most patient explainer. We have a clear winner there. Calmest person in the room, another clear winner there. Biggest crash out, there's a clear winner there. Most respectful disagreement. There's not a clear winner there yet, but there is a leader there. Most likely to be a Fed. There is a clear winner there. I don't think that's going to change. Oh, we did actually share that in the spaces the other day, so I think we can share that here.
Oh yeah.
This is the only result we're going to share before the ceremony stream. Most likely to be a Fed. Here are the nominations to refresh your memory. James May, featured in the video. Voters don't excite elections, vote counters do. Yeah.
Luckily for us, I paid the service. We paid the service for it to auto vote count. So don't you worry. We're not going to pull a TPUSA. Okay. This is going to be 100% accurate, and none of us will be indicted for violating federal election laws.
And we won't have to fake our deaths as a result.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah, super chats to the Try and Prove It channel go to reimbursing us for those expenses. So nominations are James May, Gary Melton, and this is for most likely to be a Fed. James May, Gary Melton, Mitch Mango. Some of these accounts are on X. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you might not know all of these. So James May, Gary Melton, Mitch Mango, Candace Owens, John Bray, Blake Bednarz, Erica Kirk, Piper and Midgray, Jane Doe, Tyler Robinson is on there, Gray Hughes, Quintessential on X, Rage Bronson, Sean Campbell, and us. We have one vote for most likely to be most likely to be a Fed. All right, so James May coming in at, how do I put this back on percent? James May has 10% of the vote. Mitch Mango has 1% of the vote. Candace has 2% of the vote. John Bray has 4% of the vote. Blake
Candace
coming in
only
at
has 2%. Okay.
She only has 2% of the vote. Can I actually show this on the screen? I can probably show this on the screen.
Yeah.
Would that be okay?
Yeah.
I think that could be okay.
I
As long as
think
I
that,
don't-
you know, what's interesting about that is that I think that may indicate, it would be curious to see, like, if it tells us that more of the audience has been driven from X versus YouTube or whatever.
What would?
It would be interesting to see if, like, the traffic from those who voted in the, you know, in this was driven from X versus YouTube.
I don't know that it tells us that.
No,
but we
it's
can
okay.
find-
It's okay. We can look at that later, but it would just be an interesting, like, data point.
Yes, agree. So James May, 10%. Mitch Mango, 1%. Candace Owens, 2%. John Bray, 4%. Blake Bednarz, 10%. Erica Kirk at 10% as well. Piper and Midgray at 5%. They're on X. Jane Doe, also on X, is 1%. Tyler Robinson at 4%. Gray Hughes Investigates at 1%. Quintessential on X, 1%. Rage Bronson, 0%. Sean Campbell. I don't remember who that is, but I know that came up in a space.
Oh gosh, he's the one OSINT Sean, whatever, who's been doxing a bunch of people.
I think I remember. Oh, I
And
think
he-
I think
yeah.
Eco complained that why is this guy allowed in our award show? I think that's what I remember about him.
Yeah, I don't really want to like pay him any mind, but
All right. So, and then Kelly and Jordan, we have 1% of the vote. So, but the winner, who I skipped over, is Gary Melton right now. It's not settled yet. If a whole bunch of people vote right now and they want to get James May up to the lead, we can do that. We have 362 people watching right now. I know for a fact that everyone watching right now has not voted. So I'm going to put the link to the voting place in the chat.
and can we
once more.
please make sure that every one of you who is watching, please just take one moment to sub to the Try and Prove It YouTube channel. You just click
Yes.
that boom, surprise. This is a surprise. Listen to me, subscribe, and then you will be subbed. And while you're there, click the notifications, the bell, and make sure that you have it turned on for all. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
What are we at right now? We've
only
been trying to get to 1,000. By the way, my son, Braden, beat us to 1,000.
I don't understand what he's doing. He
Come
must be
on,
buying
you
stuff.
guys.
He's probably
Let's
buying
go.
stuff. I think he's
No,
buying.
he has not. No, I assure you, he does not have a method. Method means way, whatever. And we
We're
had
at
made a bet.
939. We are at 939
you guys.
subscribers. Come on. So, yeah. I mean, most of our audience is coming from our X accounts and from our personal YouTubes. The eclectic journalist says, Kelly, I am like 40 away to 1,000. It is so hard. Yeah.
So hard.
I mean, both. I mean, my channel is almost at 10,000 subscribers, my personal one, and Kelly's is not far away. But Kelly beat me to 10,000 on X, so that's no fair. But anyways, but she's been working really hard on X, so she earned that.
Whew, much to my
Okay.
dismay.
Okay, let's get back to. Oh, I'm supposed to move the arrow here. Let me move the arrow. Oop, there we go. So, okay, so this is the first video that I made on the Charlie Kirk case, moving back to the reverse engineering. So what happened was, I don't know how I became aware of the 4-hour online course about the squib stuff, but somehow I became aware of it. Kelly thinks that she sent it to me. I don't have record of that. I don't remember, but somehow I became aware of this trailer or something and about this course. And I took the course, and I can actually show that to you here. I think Stan Winston School of Character Arts. Blood Effects Rig Squib, something like that. Here it is. This online course with Mike McCash. I can't show too much of this because we're going to get banned on YouTube. So I have to be careful with that.
Okay.
But that
So
was the
does
course.
it say this is educational only? Oh wait. Oh, that's that's a photo that people were asking for earlier when I was discussing the Erica and Fam being at the event. Did you pull
Uh-huh.
that up intentionally?
It was a notification and I clicked the notification.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, I've seen the original. I don't know for sure. In fact, I think that both of these are AI enhanced, frankly, but here, you go for it.
Well, I actually called attention to that in my stream the other day. This stream, that post. And I'm pretty sure that's why it was on X, because I actually said something about that. Let me see if I can find it.
I've gone over that a few times, like over, I don't know, months back. But back when I worked, with some other people.
With Blake. That could be her. It's not, but it could.
And it just, looked a little different.
And it kind of looks like Erica, but it's not Erica, I don't think. Okay,
I mean,
so
look, do we see the fingers? Is she full of rings? That would be the indicator.
she doesn't have earrings on. It's not Erica because she doesn't have the earrings on.
Yep, not enough jewelry.
Not enough jewelry. So what happened was I took that course, and when I'm taking that course, what the course is, okay, what is the course? They teach you how to, in Hollywood, make a fake neck wound on someone as if someone sliced your neck open and all this blood comes out. And the really weird thing is they always use a white shirt in these tutorials. The test subject always has a white shirt on because the blood shows up better against white. So that's why they always have a white shirt on. So that's interesting. And also, it's in the exact same spot as Charlie Kirk. So then I realize, okay, so in Hollywood, and it's not just that one tutorial. There is tutorial after tutorial after tutorial showing you how to make the exact same neck wound that we see on Charlie Kirk on 910. The exact same neck wound. The same thing, basically. And the way the blood comes out is pretty similar to what we see on Charlie Kirk. And you know how when the blood comes out of Charlie, it's delayed? There's like a brief delay, like several frames where you would expect the blood to start coming out, but it's not coming out yet. And then after like 6 or 8 frames or something, then the blood starts coming out. A lot of people have talked about that. And, John Bray has a theory that's not really properly evidenced medically, in my opinion. It's just speculation. But fake death theory, the way these squibs work, you have to prime the hose. You have to prime the appliance. The first thing that's going to come out of this thing is air. So you have to prime it. It takes a little bit for the blood to come. And one of the key issues with this type of system is it's really hard to control exactly when the fluid is going to start coming out because you have to prime it. There's always going to be a little bit of air at the top that has to come out first. So, maybe the reason there's that delay is because, you have to prime it, and that's just how these squibs work. But anyways, we're not getting into the weeds just yet. But when I watched this course, basically what it is, they have a plastic piece, they have a big pressure pot basically that stores air pressure and pushes on the fluid so the fluid comes out, and you open a valve to make the blood come out, and it comes up a tube on the person's back, and then it goes into this plastic, super thin plastic piece that's taped to where you want the blood to come out. And then you have a prosthetic that goes over the little thin plastic piece, and then you cut the prosthetic, and then you cut the plastic so the blood can come out. And this is called a blood delivery system underneath a prosthetic. That's what they teach in that course. That's how you fake the exact same neck wound that you see on Charlie Kirk. The exact same one. Only it's like a bullet hole instead of just slicing the entire neck. So I think, all right, so I've seen that there is definitely a way to make the exact same neck wound on Charlie Kirk. Like there's no negative mass. It's not like his entire neck was blown off. It's not like it was blown to smithereens. He still has a neck. Everything we see absolutely can be faked, at least in Hollywood. And so what I realize is, and I guess I can make myself bigger here, even though Kelly left. What I realize is the way that they always have to pre-cut the prosthetic. When they do this stuff, they have to film a take on the film set. You have to film a take on the film set with the prosthetic not cut. And then you do the whole scene, and then you turn off the camera, and then you cut the prosthetic right where you want the wound to be, and then you do another take with the blood effects. But you have to stop the camera, go up to the actor, cut the prosthetic exactly where it's supposed to be, and then you do another take where the blood actually comes out. But on the day on 9/10, you're not allowed to go up to the actor and cut the prosthetic. So then you say, okay, well, maybe they would use glue, maybe they would use an explosive, maybe they would use like a piece of fishing line or something. Jesus Magi is saying a pneumatic animatronic device was the piercing mechanism. You can think of all these different ways that you might cut it at the time the blood delivery is needed. But then I think about the physical evidence from the scene. What happens? The shirt yanks up to his ear like this. So it kind of seems like maybe that had something to do with cutting the prosthetic, because there's clearly a lot of energy being directed at that area, at that wound. But then you have to wonder, okay, maybe like it's not explained by cavitation because the back of the necklace remains undisturbed. And I've said this many times before. We know it's not cavitation because the back of the necklace remains undisturbed deep into the event, right? So it's not cavitation forcing the necklace up. So we have all this energy directed at the prosthetic. So it would naturally occur to you that it is cutting the prosthetic because that would solve the problem. And then we have, okay, what are some of the other observables that we observe? We have white mist coming out. And John Bray talks about this a lot. And so then the instructor in that course, and jump in here anytime you want, Kelly. The instructor in that course, he always talks about going to the lumber yard to get this tool, to get that equipment, to get this material. And I think he means Home Depot by that. So I go to Home Depot and I think, okay, what here can I use to cut a prosthetic that would make white mist? And then I remember a plumbing tool, a drain cleaner, a CO2 drain cleaner, where you have two handles on it and you punch down on it really hard to blow out a drain. You should never do that, by the way. Those CO2 drain cleaners with the almost looks like an air pump, never use those. Those are going to blow out your pipes if you're not careful. Even if you are careful, never use those. Always use a snake. Always use like a manual plunger. But anyways, I remember that makes a lot of white gas when you use it, because I'd used it a few times because I was an idiot, didn't know what I was doing. Well, one of them I actually was justified in using it because that was an insane job. But anyways, it makes a lot of white gas. So I go to Home Depot and I get an HVAC condensate line drain cleaner. I'm starting to get tired. I'm not talking right anymore.
I know. I'm tired too.
I know you are. But I filmed this video.
And this video is terrible. Like, gosh, you guys.
Well, it's because of your teleprompter. It's only supposed to have white text.
It's not, Jordan.
Okay. Yes, dear. All right. So then I filmed this video.
I've taken it off already. Anyway.
Well, what happens? Because earlier I was actually able to fix it. Earlier when I did this, it fixed it.
Okay. Let's go back to the other thing.
Okay, so I filmed this video with the paintball gun to blow. And I sound like I'm like super anxious here. All right, so today we're going to create some very exotic shirt and like this, up like this, out, not a firearm. And when I started off doing this, I thought that this gas was going to be like poisonous to me. And I had like an undershirt on because I thought I was going to get frostbite. And it's like, no. This is just a picture. This was the first test I ever did. I had no idea what I was doing. So a prosthetic. I don't know why I need to talk so much in this. Prosthetic. First I'm going. Oh, this is the blood bladder. This is the blood bladder I was talking about right here. So that the blood can come out, the fake blood. I'm going to disable the safety. I do not have a remote trigger set up, so I'm not sure if we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. All right, so that was pretty cool. It looked like, but we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. So that kind of looks like what happened to Charlie, yeah?
Yeah. Look, I mean,
3, 2, 1. First try.
Your quick study, Jordan. Your quick study.
Literally zero experience, very first try, and that's what I got. Well, and you see the white vapor.
Oh, the little puff.
Okay.
Yep.
Nope. You can kind of see it there. That's actually not true. You should see the inside of my car right now. It's crazy. But you see the white vapor here. You have no idea how much I had to clean that vehicle when you came to DC, Kelly. I didn't actually have to clean it that much.
Oh my gosh.
Currently my work vehicle, which is an excuse. But you can see the white vapor here, which is pretty much the exact same white vapor that comes out of Charlie's
Jordan,
shirt.
I mean, honestly, like that is really solid work.
Yeah. And that was the
Seriously.
first try. That was the first
Yeah.
try. Just went to Home Depot. Now, of course, the difficult part is, okay, well, I had to figure out what am I going to shoot at the neck? Well, what's available? The necklace is available. I don't want like a paint. Obviously, can't use a paintball. You don't want to use a marble because you're going to either see the splatter of the paintball or you're going to see the marble bounce off. So what's available? Well, the pendant is available. So why don't you shoot the pendant at the neck? I don't know if that's actually going to cut a neck prosthetic. That's the part I haven't quite figured out yet because I don't have access to, well, I can probably get access to them, but not the kind that I need. I need to start learning how to do the prosthetics myself so I can figure out what would actually cut a prosthetic. That's like the next big step apart from the Texas strip that might be coming up. But anyways, the pendant is available. And if you shoot the pendant into the neck to cut the prosthetic, the pendant is constrained to the necklace, which is constrained to the neck. So it doesn't look like there's a projectile. And I made a whole video that did pretty well that went into that. That says, do I want to go? Oh, this is pretty cool. This is from the tutorial. I don't necessarily think this is what happened necessarily, but in Mike McCash's tutorial, he has a QD fitting, a quick disconnect fitting, right here on this part of the back. And then you look on Charlie's back. What do you see there? In that exact same spot.
Something there. Sorry, I just
Yeah.
moved you over to the
Oh, you can't see.
other screen.
There's
I'm
like
still
a bump.
trying. I'm still trying to, troubleshoot this.
There's a bump on, there appears to be a bump on Charlie's back in the exact same spot where Mike McCash puts his QD fitting. I don't know if that's what actually happened here because I don't know how consistent the bump is, but that was a pretty interesting little find there because it's in the same spot. But my
Yeah.
recent tests don't really do it that way, but it's still interesting.
Yep. Oh, I will also say that I just float this out there a little bit. I did make a run. Oh my gosh, this is so bad, y'all. It's just getting worse by the moment. I don't
think
even
it-
know what to make of this anymore. But
We'll
I
troubleshoot
have
it.
yeah, y'all forgive me for looking like a frosted ghost. But anyway, yeah, have made a run by David Yurman as well. So
you went by
that-
David Yurman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I wanted to do that with you.
Well, we still can. But I was like, I just need to go ahead and like knock it out. So more to come on that.
Well, maybe wait. Because anyways. Then I did the acting. Oh, you can't see. Then I did the acting performance here. Which is like, okay, well, it looks like Charlie dies. And then we have the TENS unit stuff that maybe we can test when I hopefully come to Texas. Maybe we can test that to help with
Jordan,
this.
we are running out of time, my friend. We've been talking about that since January. I'm about to get a TENS unit for myself. I probably have one in my garage.
Next week. It's
Well, I
you might-
know, but I'm just saying, let's go.
with what?
Yeah, like we're at the point where we've got to just like make make do with what we can.
Yeah. So the TENS unit is going to help with this acting performance, but this is just bear with a little bit of practice. That might get us a sensor, so I have to be careful with that. Yeah. Oops. That's going to get us a sensor as well. But so the acting performance is not like horribly impossible to do, especially if you have a TENS unit. So that's interesting as well. Yeah. Where was I supposed to be here? Where am I supposed to be? I wanted to get off that because, yeah, all right. I wanted to show you, do you have anything to bring up right now, Kelly? Well, I figure out where I need to go.
No, I'm just about exhausted, and I think we've just hit the 2-hour mark. So, friends, where are we at? Do y'all have anything in particular that you want to talk about? We'll say that, hey, guys, H2327, thank you so much for being a member for a whole month. It feels like you've been around a lot longer than that. Yes, so thank you. And Mona, thank you so much for the 10 jewels. Thumbs up. We're still trying to figure out exactly what it means when the jewels come through. But we got a second one with the 10 jewels. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we've got Mino Dino with the six jewels. Chili? Chili. Thank you. You all right over there, Jordan? Oh, man, you look like you're scheming.
Nope, just taking a break because I was talking for a while.
Oh, okay.
Snake Baby says fake death since they were on fake death theory since 1:46 a.m. September 12th. I got text for proof. So they are a loyalist.
Well, good to have you here, Snake Baby. You are always so much fun to chat with. Thank you. And I'm sure that you and Braden, and as if you haven't heard enough from me, but you and Braden could probably talk all about that early fake death theory. Chuck, I bet Jordan's desktop is so clean and organized that it looks like a stock photo of a desktop that's never been used.
I think they're referring to my computer desktop there.
What say you, Jordan Henshaw?
Wait, hold on. You can't see that. This is, I'm going to make it smaller so you can't read it. Everything. But no, this is my desktop. And that's only one of them. So not exactly. Charlie Charlie was gay and being groomed for what's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Charlie was gay and being groomed for president. He couldn't win as a gay man. Is that why they gave him a fake family like the Democrats gave the Obamas to win? I don't get the impression that he was gay. Not at all.
I would beg to differ.
Really?
I would beg to differ. I sure would. I don't have oh gosh, how should I say this? I don't have firm proof of that, but I was even watching a video of him appearing on I think it was Megyn Kelly's podcast, and this would have been in August 2025. So basically a year ago. And anyway, it's not the first time I've thought this, but seeing it with fresh eyes after a long period of time, I was like, whoa. And then couple that with there's a lot. I don't want to get too deep into it right now, but we can definitely, figure out if it's appropriate to do a further discussion about that later, but in terms of the TPUSA guys, there's a whole lot of closeted / deviant behavior going on amongst these guys. So,
oh, for sure, yeah. And then I guess you have the angle of how is it he was like so close to Candace for so long and nothing happened? I don't know. Maybe that would make sense of that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how on earth would he marry Erica Kirk when she's like supposed to be attractive, but like basically nobody actually. I'll stop my thought there.
Yeah, look, it's, and I'm not saying any of that in like
look at this lady. Look at this lady. I understand she has the makeup, the fake AI makeup on, but look at this woman. Look at her. Nobody wants to.
Oh man, y'all are really gonna catch me in a moment. But when I see that, video of Erica from just a couple of weeks ago, it was the Sunday after the hearing. So it would have been around July 12th, I think. Anyway, and she's at a TPUSA event and she's walking around in this like black silk sort of get up with her, what does she say? Her Air Force Ones or whatever, her sneakers, because she's a sneakerhead. Okay. And when the way I see her, like her presence and her delivery, it's all giving like JV, junior varsity, softball coach to me. I'll leave it there. You're not going to get the reference. You're not going to get it. But my folks who need to get it will get it.
I think I understand what you mean. I think there's some deviancy in those types of people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, these are not normal people.
He did order fish fillet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that one girl who, Jillian, whatever her name was. These are not normal.
We don't need a script. We don't need a script because we literally riff off of the subject matter. Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. We started a C team for her. Okay. But yes, you guys, I'm serious. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not alone in thinking this. Thank you for the confirmation.
Shauna?
And I'm literally not knocking her. I'm just calling what I see. And it's not only that instance. It's been many. So just letting you know, between the Charlie stuff, between the Erica stuff, whatever. And I think we have to remember that none of us, and if you did know either of them personally before September 10th, would absolutely love to talk to you one-on-one. But I don't think that, any of us, like, I have mutual friends with them, a couple of people.
I'm sorry. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
I just started checking X. I zoned out and I started paying attention again when he said wanted to talk to you.
Uh-huh.
Were you talking to me?
No, I was talking to our audience.
Uh-huh. Someone wanted to talk to who? Sorry.
No, I'm speaking to our audience.
Okay, they want to speak to the audience. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I'm speaking to our audience.
You're speaking to the audience. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, yeah, if any of you knew either of them in real life, would love to talk to you directly. But
Oh, now I understand.
But at the end of the day, if you did not know either of them directly, then I think you have to understand that, like, there's a lot that you didn't know about what goes on behind closed doors with people. I was in the middle of a banger. I was like trying to land the plane, Jordan, and then you just took the runway out from underneath me.
Sorry, but what I was looking at was the what she said lady. I had invited. Okay, for people who don't know, she has. You know how on Try and Prove It we have a lot of like new theories come on. Sorry, I'm completely derailing what you just said, aren't I?
It's okay. Yeah.
You were talking about if people know like the Jillian lady, the Jillian girl.
No.
Come on.
No.
I'll shut up. Sorry.
It's okay. Here. I'm like, I also just wish that I could like adjust my camera. Anyway, all right. Look. If any of you know or knew Erica / Charlie directly, by all means, would love to hear from you and hear your experiences and insight. But if you didn't, I think it's worth remembering that you may have known just the idea, okay, of what they wanted to present to the world. I was also saying that, like, I have a couple of mutual friends between us. I know I can't get back on it, y'all. I was like on the path. Anyway.
I understand now. You want people in the audience who knew Charlie and Erica to talk to us directly if they knew Charlie and Erica. I understand now.
But if you didn't, then you didn't. And yeah.
What do you think the chance was he was tased with the squib going off at the same time? It sure looked like that. That's basically what we think happened. Or at least that's our primary theory. Right?
Mm-hmm. We're absolutely exhausted. It is after midnight. I've been up since 6. Jordan's probably been up since before that. I've been running around like literally all day. I couldn't even take time to edit my video that I showed you guys earlier. So we're just
All right.
trying to
Ooh.
wing it.
Yeah, let's play. This is pretty cool. Let's play this.
All
This'll
right, but
be-
let's kind of wrap it up too, because we have a stream. Thank you, Snake Baby. First thing
Yes.
in the morning.
And that is that's the Eastern time, right? Yeah. I think it's just look at the stream. The stream is already posted. That's the time when it starts. But this was pretty cool. We had Baron Coleman in a space, or I say we, it's not we. Someone, Uncle Tom, someone on X had Baron Coleman in the spaces last night, and Kelly took Baron to school on basically like journalistic integrity and on like if you have exculpatory evidence for Tyler Robinson, you should probably say something to the government, to the police, even if what's that?
To the people, so
Yeah.
all the people can collectively, raise Holy Peck. I don't know.
Yeah, the premise here is Barron claims that he has evidence that would at least seem to be. It's hard to know for sure what evidence that he actually has because he doesn't want to state it on the record. But it
Barron
seems
took Kelly
like,
to school. What?
no. All right, let's just play this.
From where I sit.
I
So-
take accountability.
You wish would come out. You can never share you and let you know you either are or are not on the right path, but you can never, ever reference it. You can't refer to it. You can't tell anyone on earth you have it, but I'll let you look at it. And then there are people who say, here's this. I'll let you know when the time is right. Those are two different classes of sources. And yes, the answer to your question is yes. There's a lot of stuff I wish would just come out because it would shut a lot of people up.
Things that are exculpatory to Tyler.
I don't even want to say that.
Can you give us a general idea?
No, this is my whole point. You're not allowed to talk about it.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask a follow-up
I know, and
question,
I'd be
Barrett.
I'd be dishonest if I'd said any more. I probably, I mean, it's the nature. I mean, I guarantee you at the New York Post and at the New York Times and the Washington Post and ABC and NBC, they're also sitting on stuff they wish could come out. Not about this case necessarily, but about stories they're working on. But
I
they
mean,
were given the information.
We've got someone's life on the line, right? And I mean, you yourself had also said recently, I think on the space with you and Diligent, that like, hey, if you've got something, like now is the time.
Correct.
Put it
I agree
out.
with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So then,
Go back and rewind everything I just said to Bronson for the last 5 minutes.
Okay, so that's basically it. Anyways, let's move on. Right?
Yeah. That was, thank you. I didn't know, I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to shake out, Jordan. I was a little nervous, to be honest, because we did not talk about this part. So,
Sorry.
yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. I appreciate that because it's legit. I mean, it's a question that I would ask of anyone.
Yeah. Okay, so did we do all the starred ones? I think we did all the starred ones. So hide current comment. You have any other updates?
Hold on. Wow, a lot was missing on that segment. I don't. This is the same person who tried to say that Barron schooled me. I don't think so.
Well, that was like a 2-minute segment, so.
Yeah, so you're welcome to go back and listen to it, and feel free to let me know what was missing. Jordan pulled that clip up, but I don't think there was any context missing. So
I'm not going to click that one. Yeah. What? All right. Anyways, enough of these comments. So, any other updates you would like to talk about from your side, Kelly?
I think that's about it. I think that tomorrow will be interesting. I would, as much as I would, I encourage everyone to tune into us, watch through our stream, and I'm gonna do my best to have my stupid camera figured out so I don't, look like a filtered ghost.
We'll figure it out right now.
We'll figure it out shortly. But I will say that my biggest concern about all of that, I'll just be very, very candid with you all, is that it's going to be some sort of a WWE show that's all about the theatrics and not about the substance. So
Yeah. It'll probably be kind of like a presidential debate. Lots of talking past each other, not a lot of substance. Probably a lot of yelling and anger too.
We'll see.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good show. Yeah.
Yep. And
So-
you know that we will be ready to bring the receipts to whatever we can, regardless.
So that'll just about do it for tonight, everyone. You can join us again tomorrow morning at around 10 a.m. Central or around 11 a.m. Eastern. And that's going to be a great show as well. So good night, everyone. See you later.
Good night.